Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Power Platform. This is Dinuji Loganathan. Hope you guys seen a lot of videos around the Power Platform. Previously, I used to focus on only the Power Automate desktop, but I'm slowly I'm focusing on other Power Platform products like Copilot Agents, even Power Apps as well. So in this today's video, I'm going to talk about Copilot Agent only. Okay, so if anybody started exploring the Copilot, sometimes we have to create our adaptive card. So this is where we can show the details in kind of some card format, and sometimes we would require to display some of the data in from the JSON array as well, right? So I am going to guide you like how to create the adaptive card with the JSON array format. Okay, whenever I create the video in Power Platform, I always have a little bit of touch up on the Power Automate desktop. So definitely Power Automate desktop also part of this video. So my use case is I have a Contoso application. Okay, so this is my Contoso application. I want to check for example, I will type the query in my Copilot agent, extract the invoice details, which is dated on 6th to maybe this is the month 2nd of sorry 6th of February of 2024. Okay, so that time it will extract all this information from 10012 to 1005, and it will I want to display this all this information in adaptive card in the Copilot agent. Okay, so this is not something you can do it directly, because in the adaptive card mostly people will render with the static informations. So okay, let's begins with the static adaptive card, then we will work on the for all, or maybe the for each loop kind of stuffs in the adaptive card. Okay, so let's create our Copilot agent for this. This is not autonomous agent. This is again I'm creating from the scratch. For autonomous agent, maybe we will cover in the later videos. Okay, so this is something invoice tracker. I'm maybe let's keep like this. Create an agent for invoice tracker. Okay, great. Now let's determine the name of your invoice tracker agent. How about the invoice tracker pro? Okay, this is looks fine for me. I entered as for that, so it is keep our name invoice tracker pro here. Okay, this is fine. I will click create right now. It will take a few seconds to create our agent. Okay, so if you look at this, it is shows the agent help us to track invoice, manage the invoice efficiently. It can provide updates on the invoice statuses, send reminders for the due payment. That is all not true, but instruction assist users in the tracking and managing invoice. This is true, and provide update on the invoice status. Yeah, so we are going to cover this only to this point. Okay, so what I will do, I will quickly get into the topic, and then I will create a topic from the scratch from blank. Okay, here I will add the phrases. So based on this only, it will trigger, I mean the Copilot agent trigger the topic. Okay, so whenever user type invoice, right, I want to trigger this topic. So I had invoice here. Okay, invoice tracker. So this is the bug, I would say. So you can't, sometimes it is not working. So what I will do, I will press tab, then it focus here, then I will press that button, then only it get added. Okay, so then I think this two is fine. So whenever user type invoice, it should trigger this topic. Okay, so I will call, keep this topic name as invoice tracker. Okay. Okay, perfect. So this is fine. So what we will do next, so whenever we type something here, it should trigger. Then let's add a node and ask a question. Okay, let's keep this as a simple type or query related to the invoice status. Okay, this is fine. Then you, whenever user type something, I want to store that info in some string format, right? So I will keep this in some entity related to string. Okay, so multiple choices, options, tables, no entity, and save as it is. This is fine. Okay, so it will be stored in the string. This is, I will keep this as user query. Okay. Okay, it is taking some time. That is fine. So then I need to invoke my cloud flow to trigger my desktop flow. Okay, so what I will do, I will already have created the Contoso application automation. You can see here. So this is the code. It will just open the Contoso invoice application exe. In previous video also I shown this. Okay, it will just open this exe and extract this table. Okay, I will show the code. See here, just run application. I am opening the exe. Then I click on the invoice image. Then I extract the table. Then in the ChatGPT, I am using I will check what exactly I'm doing in the ChatGPT so that you guys will understand, analyze the below invoice data and provide the answer for the query. So this is the query we got from the Copilot Agent user, right? So that information we have, then it will return some information from ChatGPT to Power Automate Cloudflow. From Cloudflow to, we will pass finally to Copilot Agent. Okay, so let's keep this as a simple. So my use case is I want to extract the information which is relevant to 6 to 2024 date. Okay, so let's keep that now. Okay, so let's keep the query here. So the default value I will type it here. Okay, so extract invoice details related to, or details dated on, what is the date, 6 to 2014, right? 6 to 2014, I will type that here. 6 to 2024. Okay, now let's see how it works. Okay, so now it is passing that information to GPT, and finally it is showing in the set variable out response. Okay, let's verify that. So here is the invoice dated on 6 2024, and it is started showing the informations. Okay, this is fine. I will even show this in the message box so that you guys understand what value it is returning. Okay, we pass the full information to GPT, and GPT filter that information. The invoice dated on only 6/2/2024. That means February 6th, 2024 invoices. Okay, so this information I want to display in the Copilot Agent adaptive card. Okay, so this is my use case. What I will do, I already create the topic and I ask the query with the user. Now I'm going to create. Um, I will go to the add action. Then I create new Power Automate flow. Okay. So let's recheck our flow name here. So this is the flow Contoso process. Okay, Contoso process. So you can see here, when you click, the new Power Automate flow, right? It will open the new tab. By default, it is added Copilot, trigger and response, actions. Okay, so I will keep this as uh, adaptive card demo invoker. Okay, so here we need to pass user query. Okay, this is the query we got from user and the Copilot agent. Okay, then we have to invoke our desktop flows. Okay, let's pick our desktop flows from the dropdown. So that is Contoso process. I want to run this flow in the attended mode, and the connection is I want to keep. So I already created a connection called MCB. I will go with that connections. Okay. Okay, even this is also fine. So this is showing okay. So I will click cancel. This is fine, and input query is something whatever we got from the Copilot agent. Okay, so this is the input query we are passing to the desktop flow. Okay, perfect. So let's save this, and once you done the publish, then only you have to click the refresh here. I mean done here, then only it will reflect in this panel, I would say. So let's publish this, publishing. Okay, so that is done. So you can see here you have opened a new tab to create a new flow. Click done to update the flow list within your new flow. Okay, I click done. Now you can see our flow name here. So what is our flow name? Adaptive adaptive demo invoker, right? So you can see here adaptive demo invoker. This is perfect. Okay, so let's pass the user query here. Okay, then let's save this. Now let's go and test our agent. Okay, okay, done. So how can I help you today? So I want to trigger this topic, right? So to trigger this topic, we have to type any of this process, right? So let's type invoice so that it will come here. Okay, type your query related to invoice status. Okay, so I'm just typing extract the invoice dated on 5th or 6th. I'm not sure. Let's check. So let's go back. 6th, right? 6th Feb. 6 to 2024. Okay, let's type this now. Okay, so in the back end, it will call the Contoso app and extract the relevant information, which is, I think we have to close the display message, right? We will do that. Save. Let's go and check, okay, whether it is triggered or not. So you can see here it is asking additional permission to record to run these actions. Okay, I will click connect. Let's click connect here. This is the one way of invoke your desktop flows, but we were discussing different methods in our previous video. Okay, so this is automatically connected. This is fine. I will click submit here. Then it will change from not connected to connect now. Okay, it shows connected. Looks good. Let's click the retry now. Now it will invoke the adaptive demo invoker. Okay, it shows is running. So this is my VM. Let's see it is opening any Contoso application here or not. Okay, it is opening, right? So don't disturb your bot. So it is extracted all the information from the table. I think once that is extracted, then it will respond back to the okay, it is showing the succeed, right? Now let's go and check. So you can see here, this is the input value we are passed to our desktop flow, extract the invoice dated on 6/2/2024. So what are the output we got from the Power Automate desktop? So this is the information we got from the Power Automate desktop. So invoice dated on and some informations, okay, email account, etc. Okay, this is fine. What we will do, we will just pass this information to Copilot. Okay, so let's do that. Invoice data, I will keep this invoice data. Then this is the output response from the Power Automate desktop flow. Okay, so we are returning Power Automate desktop flow response into the invoice data variable to the Copilot Studio, right? So once it is published, you can do refresh here so that it will show the output variable here also in these actions. Okay, for now it is not showing any output variable. Right now, after refresh, we can see the one more variable called invoice data. Right, so this I want to show it in some message format. Okay, so let's show this as a string. That is fine. I click save. Okay, so let's do the refresh. Let's trigger the topic by typing invoice extract invoice dated on 5th of February 2024. Retry. Let's connect it again. Once it is ticked, then click submit. Then status also will be changed to connected here. Then click retry. Then it will invoke our adaptive demo invoker. Okay, so it is started showing running. Let's verify in our VM. Okay, I'm not. Okay, it is triggered. Okay, so it is going to the invoice tab and they extracted the relevant information. Okay, let's check this is completed or not. Still showing succeed. Okay, it is showing succeed. Let's go back to our Copilot agent and see this is showing there are no invoice dated on 5/2024. I mean, I think we have to type 6th, I guess, right? Let's check this again. Yeah, so we don't have any invoice. Let's type invoice again. Let's just change the date. Okay, then again it will invoke the cloud flow. From cloud flow, it will invoke desktop flow. Okay, I close the Contoso manually because I've not included that action in my Contoso process desktop flow. But make sure you guys properly close the Contoso app after the extraction. Okay, now it's extracted. Let's go back to the studio. It should show. Okay, perfect. So you can see here the invoice dated on 6th of February 2024 are as follows. Okay, so it is showing all the invoice ID and company, email, amount, status, etc. Right. So if you show some information in normal message format, it won't be looks good, right? I mean, it is very difficult to read, for the end user. To enhance this experience, we are going to create the adaptive card. Adaptive card, even you can have it for submitting any details also, or you can even shows the adaptive card for displaying any data. So anything is, I mean, both of them is feasible. So in our use case, I'm going to display this invoice messages in some of formatted adaptive card. Okay, so let's go and see how to do that. Okay, so you can see here, so this is the Microsoft link where you can see display data from arrays in the adaptive card, right? So we already have some information from our Copilot, desktop flow, but first we need to format the output of our desktop flow. So I want something look like this, right? Some employee name, ID, employee department, something like this. For us in our use case, we have to show invoice dated and a total invoiced amount, and in the array we can show like invoice ID, such things, right? So let's go ahead and first see how to create the adaptive card for this. Okay, I just copied this JSON data here. So this is in JSON format. What I will do, I will just ask Claude to add double quotes in the below JSON adaptive card. Okay, then I just pasted the data here. I mean the JSON data whatever I copied in the Microsoft portal. Okay, so I'm just copying this. So this is the adaptive card designer portal. You can also you can access this designer by just typing adaptivecard.io/designer. Okay, so I'm just pasting what are the information I converted to the cloud. So here I need to fix some of the variables here. Okay, just I'm going to remove this is fine, and this and even I will remove this also. Okay, so the adaptive card something look like this, right? So here I'm going to change the format here. So I'm just typing. Even you can play with this direct text block also. Okay, or you can play with the JSON code also. So anything is, I mean, based on your comfortable level, you can play with any of these options. Okay, so I'm going to type invoice details here, invoice details, and here invoice date, then total invoice amount. Okay, I don't want this. Let's remove this. Then here invoice data. So below I want to display like, the invoice ID and the customer name and the status, etc. Okay, for now this is fine. So this is how it look like, but you can see we also have a container. With the container we are having the items. In the items we can directly append your JSON array data. Okay, this the info we will do it later, this particular part. For now let's go and do the art code. Okay, for showing date and some minimal information, these informations. Okay, so I will go to the agent. Okay, previously we used to display in the normal string format, right? It's normal message. So here I'm adding one more node, send message. Then I'm adding adaptive card here. Then I'm pasting the JSON here. Okay, this is fine. You can see here invoice details, invoice date, total invoice amount, invoice data. So, but I have not appended any additional information. It's just only the kind of name or label. Okay, I want to get all this information from my desktop flow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to slightly modify my desktop flow. Let's open my desktop flow here. Okay, let's edit. Okay, so here in the creative text of the GPT, right, just open this. Okay, and let's type like this. Okay, okay, so I type written all invoice data in the below format and written only the JSON data and don't add any other information, even JSON in the beginning, because sometimes it will written like JSON and single quotes three times, then it will place the JSON and end of the response also again it will have the three single quotes, right? So I don't want that. That's what I mentioned like this. So this is the JSON format I want. Okay, so invoice date, total invoice amount, and invoice details in the array. Okay, so in the array we need invoice ID and amount, customer name. Even that I think email is not required. Let's remove that. Let's keep some minimal information: invoice amount, customer name, and status. Okay, let's save this, and maybe once it's saved, and I will run and see how it works. Okay, it is taking some time to save. That's fine. I click this run. So I already hard coded some information, exact invoice details dated on 6th of Feb 2024, right? So based on that, it is working right now. Okay. Now let's check what it is displaying in that. Okay, perfect. So it is showing invoice date, total invoice amount. So these two information we are going to display here, right? So date and invoice amount. Remaining we have to, what is this information we have to go in the loop, right? For now, let's go ahead and append this information. Okay, this is when I click OK, and I will slightly modify my flow again. So I don't want this. It will automatically close in once again. Okay, so I click save. Let's see. This is something we can convert into the JSON format also. Okay, so let's type JSON. Okay, I think. Let's do the JSON conversion in Copilot Studio itself, or maybe the Cloudflow. Okay, so I go back to the Cloudflow and see this. So what are the information we are getting from desktop flow? Let's convert that info into JSON before we sending it. Okay, so what will to go? Just type JSON here, and let's pick the output from the desktop flow. Where's the data flow? Here is the data flow. This is the output response. Let's take that and click add. Okay. Now let's save the draft and publish. Okay, now all set. Let's go back to the agent now and do the refresh. Okay, so far this is fine. Let's include one more node, parse value. Here we can, where is this, the invoice data, right? This is something we can convert into the table format. Okay, table or record format. So let's take some sample JSON data. Okay, so let's go back to the here and put some, maybe we'll copy the data from here also, that is fine. Okay, okay, so let's take some sample JSON data and we will give the schema here. Okay, so from sample data it will automatically generate the schema. Okay, so I just pasted here. Now you can see this is save value as record, right? So let's keep this as a invoice data response. Okay, I will make this as a global variable. Okay, now I will go back to my adaptive card. Okay, adaptive card, then click on the formula. Okay, now you need to adjust this formula and type the additional information. You can append the additional information. So invoice date is just type and type global. And what is our, why it is not showing? Maybe let's go ahead and save this first. This, okay, let's save this first. And then we will take the invoice global data response from the global variable. So previously, okay, still it is showing like this. Let's change to the global and the save. Now let's see whether it, okay, so global is fine. So let's go back to the adaptive card, maximize this. Now you can see the details here, right? So here we want invoice date. So likewise, we will append total invoice amount. Okay, for now this is fine. Let's save this and we will run this flow and see whether it is reflecting properly in the adaptive code or not. Okay, okay, let's refresh this. Only the crucial part is that adaptive card JSON, right? Whatever the data we are getting from desktop flow. Okay, so let's ask extract invoice data dated on 6th of February 2024. Okay, now it will again. Okay, let's connect this. Review and reconnect. Click submit. Okay, it is connected. Then you can retry. So let's go and check the cloud flows. Okay, this is still something running. I closed everything in my VM. I'm just waiting for the response from the desktop flow. Okay, I think it is extracted. I think it is completed also. Let's see. Failed. Okay. I think we got the output from desktop flow, but it took more time, right? That's what, due to the timeout, it is failed, I guess. Let me check first. So, okay, so you can see here it is comes with, this information. That's what it is showing error. So what we will do, we will remove this data, I mean, this additional string. We will try here also. Not sure why it is not working in the, Power Automate. Let's use compose actions here, and let's use replace from output of desktop flow, right? Then old text is something like this, right? Then with empty string. Okay, let's check this, it is working or not. Okay, let's test this again automatically with the recent trigger. Now we have to check whether this is replaced properly or not. Okay. Okay, it is opening the Contoso and extracting the informations. Now let's go back to the cloud flow and see whether it is returning properly or not. Okay. Okay, let's check the compose. See, this time we didn't receive. Okay, so we received that, and okay, so it is replaced properly. Look at this. So it is removed that JSON, right? Okay, now we will replace this also. Okay, we will do one more compose. Even you can do it in the same compose, or we can use one more compose also. That is fine. Okay. Click save, and last we do one more testing. So this is how we have to, deal the problems, right? Issues and Power Automate desktop or cloud. So I tried to remove those additional characters in Power Automate, but it is not working. But I'm now trying with desktop flow, sorry, cloud flows. Okay, let's test this again. Okay, it is started. Okay, it is opening Contoso and extracting the informations. Once, okay, ChatGPT also. Okay, now I probably hit my end up in few seconds. We need to check in the compose one whether we got everything properly or not. Okay, let's go to the compose one and verify the output. Perfect, it is look like proper JSON, right? Okay, this is fine. Now let's do this JSON conversion, not from desktop flow. Let's take it from compose one actions. Okay, update, save, publish. Okay, let's go back to the agent now, and you can do refresh if needed, or let's continue without the refresh, that also fine. And click this refresh in the agent, type invoice, and extract invoice data dated on 6th of February 2024, and enter, and connect the connections again. Okay, then do the review. Once it is authenticated, then just click submit. The similar steps you have to follow. Done. It will turn into connected in few seconds. Connected, done. Let's go back and click retry. Now we will get the output from desktop flow. Let's wait some time. It is showing running. Probably it will take maximum of 1.5 minute as per our previous run. Still that Contoso exe is not open. Sometimes it is triggering a little bit late. That is where it will take more than 1 minute. If it's triggering quickly, those times it will end up in before 1 minute. Okay, now only it is triggering. It's more than 1 minute, right? But I think still we have the time. So, but this time it shows succeeded. Last time it shows almost the same time, but this time it's a succeed message. Let's go back. Okay, perfect. You can see the date here, 6 to 2024. I think this total amount is missing, right? That we have to check. So remaining everything is showing as a JSON that we will figure this out. Okay, this is comes from this message. Okay, that is fine. So what we'll do, we will go ahead and work on the adaptive card right now. Okay, invoice date. I'm not sure why that. Okay, it is in the double, and that is what it is not showing. Not sure. Let's check that. Okay, maybe let's check this global invoice date, invoice total response amount. Okay, this is handle fine. Okay, we need to check whether this total amount is triggering properly or not, right? Let's try it one more time. Invoice, extract invoice dated on 6th of 2 2024. Okay, perfect. See here the total invoice amount also now it is showing, right? Perfect. Now we want to display only this information in the loop, right? Okay, that's not a big deal. I'm opening one another agent code where I implemented a similar logic. I mean, kind of similar logic only here. Or you can just copy paste this also. That also fine. Right. So here, let's go back to the display from array and just copy pasting only the container part here. Okay. So add colon and paste it this. Okay. So here, not topic. Let's change this into global dot invoice dot invoice details. Okay. Let's change this into id, right? Id, and let's take invoice what we have given there. Let's check invoice amount, customer name. Okay, customer name, and what else is pending? Invoice amount, right? Invoice amount, id, customer name, invoice amount. Then let's add one more for, and right. So here let's add some string and Let's take this. So after the ID, we have to bind like this, right? So let's take this. So after this, we have to bind status, right? So status is just normal status only. So let's change the text. Okay, so this is something invoice ID, and this is fine. And another is a customer name, and this is invoice amount, and this is invoice status. Okay, perfect. Just save this. Let's do the last run. Okay, invoice extract invoice data on 6th of 2024, maybe Feb, right? Just enter. So this time, let's see how long it will take. But the previous run, it was super quick. So let's check the running status. It is showing running. Succeed. Let's go back to the agent. Perfect. So this is how our adoptive card look like, right? So this is much better than the previous normal message, right? Here you can do some beautification by adding the container, some background and all. Okay. So this is the JSON format. You can remove this node. Now it will just end up with only this adaptive card. Okay. Here you can use some line break, and for each and every invoice ID, you can even differentiate the color also. So maybe we will create one more video on the just to beautify the adaptive cut, right? Because this is already a lengthy video, I don't want to take more time on the beautifications and all. So once I remove this node, then I click save. So this is how the full flow would be like this. Okay, I hope this video is helpful for try to explore the adaptive card and with the array JSON array. Thank you so much for watching.